Welcome, everyone. My name is Nadia Touch. I'm a virtual health, life, and fitness trainer, and I help busy professionals to find balance in their health, life, to find strength in their bodies and minds through prioritizing nutrition, fitness, and mindset daily, one habit at a time, so we can finally live the life that we really desire. Today, we're going to talk about actually 3 of those pillars, but really focusing on mindfulness, especially nutrition. The talk is how to not overeat, healthy holiday eating guide, and we're going to cover 3 by 3 step system to sail through holidays and beyond. And the system actually can be used not just for nutrition, but for pretty much any important occasion of your life. So a quick disclaimer, we are not replacement of medical advice. We are not physicians. We do not diagnose or treat diseases. This is the way to look at your health from the perspective of daily wellness care. So let's go ahead and jump in, and feel free to use comments to communicate with me. Today, we're going to learn those 3 steps, and we're just jumping right in. Diving deep into your why. Step 2, proper way to pick up physical activity around eating. Step 3, mental rehearsal of the important meal or event. And that step includes 3 steps before, during, after, and of course, I will invite you to take an action. So go ahead and start using the chat before we jump into this conversation. What would you like to learn? Maybe what is the difficulty for yourself, for others? What is the challenge that you experience for yourself or you hear from others around food, around prioritizing and paying attention what particularly we eat and how we eat, when to start, when to stop, what to eat, how not to overeat, and actually eat the right food for myself. So go ahead and use the chat so we can communicate this way as well. All right, the best way to enjoy holiday meals without breaking my usual eating habits. You nailed it. That's pretty much it. And that is how we're going to stay focused on this topic today, is to really enjoy the holidays and still keeping really close attention to sticking to our healthy habits. Okay. So before we jump in, I'd like to share a story with you. Probably some of you know I am from St. Petersburg, Russia. You can see there's babies in this picture, but they're quite teenagers right now, 14 and 17. And I moved to this country, oh my goodness, almost 20 years ago. And you can see in the middle, I'm sitting actually in the gym, working as a fitness trainer. And sometimes for fitness trainers, as well as professionals, so quite a few professionals, we have this, we're being looked at, is everything happening great for us? We've got it figured out, we're in a good shape, we know what to eat, we know how to exercise, and maybe that's why we are coaches and wellness professionals. But in fact, those pictures on the right that you see, we are all human beings. We all journey through our own challenges. And in fact, my own journey started when I had my little babies, really just taking care of them without paying much attention to my own self. So back in 12, 13 years ago, my body was already talking to me, asking to please take care of me. So I went on my own journey of helping myself with actually, first of all, mindset. How do I fix this thing between my ears? And nutrition, how do I eat in order to feel the way I want to feel? Energy was for me, just a general health so I can feel me. And fitness. So I don't go to a chiropractor, in fact, every week being injured physically. So sick and tired, feeling alone, frustrated, stuck. But here's what I haven't shared fully yet is that was the time just a couple of years ago where injured emotionally, you can see here on the slide, was a big piece of it, where I had to revisit my personal life, my business. In fact, pretty much everything. I had to step back, and I don't know if it's thanks or not to COVID, but really reevaluate where I was and what I don't want and what I want. So I actually stopped working at the gym. I started my own business, and I even if I may say, adjusted my personal relationships, where it was challenges, those three big pieces of life where it just falls on you pretty heavy. Normally, the way we treat our challenges in life, I'm gonna actually switch to this slide, one of my favorite or not. We go dark. We just don't feel good. We just don't want to do anything, and it's hard to focus on self-care. It's hard to go exercise. In fact, when you're under big stress or anxiety, exercise is really hard. I have never shared this story actually, but one of the fitness classes I took in the gym, it was cardio. I had a panic attack right during the class. I had to leave the gym that day. In fact, not just leave, but I sat by the water fountain for about 15 minutes, trying to breathe hard so I can come back to the class. It is hard when you have so much going on in your life. And the reason I'm sharing this today, it's not just the hard times of life, but it's busy times of life where we tend not to prioritize ourselves. But over these years, what I did without realizing is trying to find those ways to help my body, my mind, my soul. What I did is when the life goes dark, I will turn this self-care or wellness care daily, we call it consistency, brighter. What I did is I was focusing on my thoughts, mindset, on my movement, fitness, on my nutrition, what I eat daily. You hear consistency, quite a used word. I'm going to say daily. That's what consistency means. And that's actually how I created the signature program, where we focus and reevaluating what we're already doing on a daily basis in our nutrition, movement, and the thoughts we're already having. So with that said, when we have this conversation, please think about your body is like a vehicle. Let's take care of our vehicles so we can actually enjoy the life that we really want. Okay, so if this is for you, if you feel like, wow, this will be really good for me to reevaluate, maybe step up, maybe I feel stuck. If I know sometimes webinars are a little lengthy and you need to maybe stop at some point, this is a special gift from me to you. This will be only for 3 days. So if you watch it later, sorry, have to connect with me. But the deep dive session normally is for fee. Introductory price is $97, but for 3 days, I'd love to give it to you for free. And Bob, go ahead and put in the chat the link as well, if you don't mind. Okay, but it is here on the screen. And so if you're still wondering whether you're live or in recording, am I in the right place? What is she saying? Does it connect with me? So if you feel busy and you can't put anything else on your plate, you're in the right place. You're feeling lack of energy, your tummy is bloated, you want to kick the sugar cravings, or you find yourself being a stress and comfort eater, on a yo-yo cycle, tried so many different diets, your body's in pain and inflamed, or can't stop eating, we call it portion control, And sometimes just feeling alone and not sure that this is going to last and can I do it? So if any of this speak to you and you find yourself there, you're in the right place. Average holiday weight gain is about 9 pounds. So I've been there. So those words actually are from my own personal experience. So this is interesting that this picture, I found that picture quite a few years ago, but I was smiling with sadness. I think we can relate to COVID year and a half as well, isn't it? And I think the average COVID weight gain is about between 10 and 20 pounds. And on top of it, we've got holidays. Yes, what a picture, isn't it? But here's what happens. Unfortunately, holidays have such a great meaning, and we indulge, we deserve it, we feel like we should, we have, we must, it's love, it's great table, and then I eat and feel bloated, tired, lethargic, frustrated, first of all, at myself. I did it again. Judging, lose my motivation. I don't even want to restart again. I just want to give up and maybe I'll do later next year. Yeah, after holidays are over. Familiar? By the way, what do you hear the most? Whether you hear it inside of your own head or somebody else tells you that. What are the most often? What do you hear? So I want to invite you to really look at it and say, you don't have, it doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to be this year. And here's how we're going to look at it. I'm going to teach you a 3x3 step mindful system to sail through holidays and beyond. Where, in fact, this is the foundation of coaching that I offer, whether it's in mindset, nutrition, fitness, or 3 pillars, is being mindful. So you're in the excellent, right on target place. We start with mindfulness, whatever step we are starting on. And in fact, we're going to go through this mindful 3 steps. And the result, whether it's again in nutrition or overall for your life, you feel stronger, you feel balanced, in control, or less inflamed. For example, one of my clients, she mentioned she was able finally to walk upstairs that she's never been able to do, or energized and light. In fact, some of my clients report cholesterol is back to normal, blood pressure is back to normal. Folks, this is real. Taking care of our daily wellness. All right, key self-care daily, absolutely. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into, well, I already mentioned a couple here, but here's Sandra with massive fatigue, not able to get out of bed before 11 a.m., craving sweets, need to exercise, want balance. She wants to jump off the bed, have foods that are good. She wants to eat and look forward to walking, and she's looking forward to have her life back. I believe this was about 2.5 months into one of her reports. She got control of her sweet tooth. She lost 20 pounds and look, the blood pressure is back to normal and she's stronger than ever. What we started with, and in fact, we worked for most of the time, is what I'm going to teach you today. So let's jump into it. Are you ready? Go ahead and put in the comments, ready. We're going to go fast with no repetitions. Okay, 3-step system of mindful eating. Excellent. Step number 1, what is your why? Let's dive deep into why. Take a piece of paper, use the chat. Why are you listening? For yourself, for your clients, what is your why? More than that, what is your why for holidays? My why is to spend time with my family. Go ahead and write down your why real quick. If you've done the work, I'm pretty sure it will go fast for you. Now go ahead and look at your answer and let's ask why again. So if I said I want to spend time with my family, why? My answer is, well, in fact, I just want to swim in the field of love. We're so busy, we are running around, doing this thing, building a business, all these chores. Sometimes it's just not enough time to swim in love, and that's what I want to spend my holidays with. So that was my second answer. Guess what? Why do you want to swim in love? Well, normally, here's what we're looking at. And go ahead, use your own examples. But we are peeling the layers of cabbage, getting to the core. And the core needs to be connected with, in fact, I already answered, love. It needs to be connected with this bigger why, or independence, or freedom. Something, I call it why that makes you cry. Losing 20 pounds is not why, it's the result. It's how to, if I may even say. But why losing 20 pounds is so important? Well, I want to go my blood pressure down. Why? Well, so I can actually run after my 2-year-old grandkids and have an active life. So reading the comments, my why is too important. I am, so to live by an example. Why wouldn't anyone want to be an example and inspiration? Okay, so your why is to be an example and inspiration. Can you ask another one? What is the source of you wanting to be an inspiration and an example? Why? So another answer, Bob, I want to feel whole and integrated in any situation, so I can be consistent with how I see myself and be peaceful and happy. Okay, so consistent with peace and happiness. Those are the words we are looking at. So you get in the core is those big whys that we are aiming towards. Great work for our vision board in January. Oh, yes, so Mary, back to big why. People are suffering unnecessarily. So if you switch the suffering unnecessarily, what is your passion? What do you want instead? Them suffering unnecessary. So kind of flip it to the positive. Great. So this work will be an amazing continuation for us. In fact, even in December, when we're going to talk about those 3 pillars of health. In January, when we're going to build the vision board. Okay, so thank you. Let's go ahead and switch to our step number 2. Who can guess what was step number 2? You saw them in the introduction. Feeling healthy, happy, instead of thinking getting older. Yes, yes. So living lives with happiness and health. Absolutely. You're my people. Thank you. All right, step number 2, pick up on physical activity. So here's the deal. I know we're here about mindful eating, but if you're talking about a healthy holidays and food around the holidays, we know we're going to consume most likely, even those who are very health nuts, myself including, I know I'm going to consume extra calories. Guess what we're going to do with those extra calories? Extra calories in, extra calories out. What's the most fun, or not so fun, but necessary way to burn those extra calories? Exercise, physical activity. So let me go ahead and switch when to do it first. How about the morning off? So if I'm talking about the Thanksgiving, I'm going to give you my personal example, and feel free to use the chat for your own example. I'm going for a turkey trot in the morning, 8 a.m. Everybody's still sleeping. I am not going to sleep in. Well, I will sleep in, 8 a.m. is not too early for me, but I'm going to do the physical activity in the morning, get my metabolism up, get my energy up, get my blood flow going, getting my body in the motion of burning that energy already. Okay, so feel free to join us. In fact, we're going to do local here in Plano. If you're doing virtual or your own, let me know. It will be fun to have as a community of 5Kers. Or you can have your own workout a different way. So during, in fact, we're going to talk about that, what to do when you're already at the party. Move around, walk around, help hostess or host to set the table, clean the table, and all that. After, also, I'm going to cover that a brisk 15-minute walk is so important to stabilize blood sugar. So with that said, let me go back to what to do, because this is really also a key of burning proper calories. So yes, you want to burn those calories, but wouldn't it be nice to burn some fat calories so it's not stored in the body where we don't want to see. So the two important elements of fat burning is cardio and resistance. So cardio, generally, it's recommended about 115 minutes a week. I'm going to say, if you can, the morning off and the day after, to go for a long cardio workout. HIIT is okay, like the high intensity, but if you can go for a brisk walk, biking, maybe gentle jogging, but not fast-paced running, where your heart rate is between zone 2 and 3. What does it mean? You can't carry a conversation. You can only have very short 2-3 word sentences. Do for at least 20 minutes. That's the cardio. And resistance training, let's have a full body workout with some kind of weight, whether it's your body weight, resistance bands, dumbbells. In fact, the morning after Thanksgiving, we're going to have after Thanksgiving burnout, full body workout, all levels, 30 minutes, and we're going to have fun. So Bob, if you can, go ahead and grab the link, and it is free for guests. That is on purpose. I built that workout, even though it's a holiday day and I want to rest, but I also know that I got to burn my own calories that I consumed the day before. So let's do that together. All right. Great. Thank you for comments. Let's go ahead and jump into the meat of what we are talking about. The step number 3. Mental rehearsal. Let's break it down. What is mental rehearsal? In fact, it was created decades ago by Russian athletes. What it is, it's basically mentally walking through. And by the way, think about what we do right now that you can do for anything in your life. Whether you have an important phone call to make, an important meeting, an important conversation, an important event, race, 5K turkey trot, or an interview, mental rehearsal where you walk your mind through each step of the way. It's almost like when you want to build a building or a house, you can't build a house without knowing the details. In fact, details to every little piece of an inch, right? So it actually called be connected and stand strong. So that's what we're building here. We can deviate a little bit when we build the house, but have that clarity to mentally walk through what's going to happen is really important. So what we're going to do with our mindful walk on the meal day, we're going to look at what we do before, during, and after. And in fact, if you would like to practice and grab another important event of your life or conversation and walk through this particular exercise for your other occasion, see actually how magically it will work. there as well. So before, during, and after. And let's go ahead and jump. So I'm going to be really referring for myself as well, the Thanksgiving dinner. In fact, we normally have about, well, for Thanksgiving, not as many, but we have between 20 and 40 people coming, bringing food. There's like 10 pies on the table. There's a lot of American food on the table. There's a feast. I really have to be very focused. So I'm going to help myself right now. So what did we do before? My parents, I love them dearly, taught me not to eat in the morning. Hey, why do you need to eat? Have the space in your stomach for a big meal. I remember the words, exactly that. Leave the space for later. Well, but when we leave the space, guess what we're doing? First of all, our metabolism goes up when we eat and exercise. So if I don't eat for breakfast, my metabolism is low, and then I actually starve like a horse. So I can now eat a wolf when I smell that food. So the goal is actually not to bring our body to starvation and actually eat light food. So here's some ideas I have on my printout. Let's talk about nutritious breakfast, maybe green smoothie, maybe eggs, something just to nibble on, but not to be hungry and lift your metabolism. Lots of water. We're still talking about before. If you have a feast close to the dinner time, please let's eat for lunch. This is an incredibly beautiful plate to have for lunch. Also, you can have maybe protein to put on your plate. Okay, so please have nutritiously dense lunch. So let's not yet talk about the junk food and all that. It probably will be on the Thanksgiving table, but let's really give our body energy with fresh, clean food. Okay. This is one of my favorite, on the way. In fact, why I put it in my presentation, because that's what I do. And my children almost every time laugh at me. Mother, why are you eating a snack bar or an apple? We are going to eat. And my answer is so I don't starve and don't get hungry when I arrive and sit at the table and wait for food. And sometimes you don't know how long it takes to actually put a first bite into your mouth. So eating on the way is not a bad idea. So protein bars, that's what I eat, or nuts. I can do nuts, or some fruit, maybe even yogurt before you leave. So something tiny, something small, again, nibble on, but not to allow yourself to starve. Okay, got that? Let's talk about the during. That's where this whole thing starts. Again, we are mentally preparing. So think about what is coming up for you. How can you mentally prepare yourself? So what can we do upon arrival? When you open the door, you're probably going to smell all those flavors and start imagining. Let's actually bring our meaning of holidays in this time before, after you open the door and before you hold the plate. Let's socialize, let's swim and laugh, let's walk, let's help to set a table, move around, drink plenty of water. Oh, in fact, if it is a potluck, I have to say that always like the question for me, what do I bring? Let's go ahead and bring something that you will be willing to eat. It's okay to say politely no to certain foods. Okay. All right. So what do we do when the table time comes? Okay. As I mentioned, glass of water is really important. Now is the time you are given a plate or you're picking up the plate from the table. In fact, you can even do this thing before you pick up the plate. Stand in front of the table, look at everything, and stretch. So this is the word that gives me problems. Strategy. Put a strategy. I can say that word. What to eat, how to eat, how much to eat. Focusfully plan before you even put anything on your plate. So how do you plan? Scan the table and find fresh, healthy choices. Greens, a salad. Let's avoid putting on the plate as a main meal those high calories and low in nutrition, fried, greasy, starchy foods. Okay, I usually find a fun salad that I like. I load my plate with a salad, and then the rest goes into small portions, like a kind of bite portions. Okay. All right, and if you're in doubt, you can just ask, is this food healthy for me? Okay. Also, when you are at the table, and for some of us, alcohol will be involved. As I mentioned, you already have started with water. And now at the table, you can actually alternate water and alcohol. I do it all the time. It's kind of funky, but it works the trick. Okay, I'm gonna read some of your comments. Brilliant tool before, during, after. Never realized that to say no to certain foods. Well, when you say no to certain foods, what do you say yes to? Well, it's like, yeah, myself. My own answer. So what is new to me? Go ahead and I'll say no to certain foods. Can ask, does my body really want this? Yeah, it's beautiful to separate. Does my body wants this, or my mind wants this? What wants this food? Because the body most of the time wants something that will heal, will give energy, will revitalize, will feel fresh. It's the mind that wants to feel those taste buds, wants to feel pleasure. So absolutely fabulous question. Does my body really want this? Love it. Love your body through food. I love this expression. Sounds funny, but that's true. All right, so at the table, this can be kind of funny, but it does work. If you want, set a timer. Normally, it takes about 20, think about it, 20 minutes for the brain to catch a signal that you are eating or full. So now think about every day, daily, how we eat the fast foods, like fast. We eat them really, really fast. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you eat a full plate in 10 minutes and you still feel hungry. Why? Well, the brain yet hasn't caught up. So it's crucially important, especially at the holiday table, when you've got this time to lengthen the meal intake time. So 20, 30 minutes. Great distinction between what body and slightly out of control minds. Yes, the body and mind, what do they want? So once you set the timer, guess what you can do? You can see on the picture, socialize. In fact, you don't see any of them chewing here. She has a fork on the table. What is she doing meanwhile? She's taking time to socialize. Maybe she's breathing right now and relaxing her body. He is actively talking. All right, so let's put the fork on the table. Let's take a few bites. And when you bite, think about Well, this is my example because I love art. When you chew, think about the food like when you're looking at the painting and you really love, you've always wanted to see it. You finally went to the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, one of the 4th largest museums in the world, and you see the painting. And you finally, for so many years, have wanted to really stand close to it. You enjoying every brushstroke, every color. You're reading where it came from. How many years did it take to paint it? You're savoring the bites. We're calling it sensual eating. Thinking about what you're eating, it's almost like I call it fooditation or meditation on the food. In fact, Google fooditation or food meditation, and you will see some videos and music for that even. Absolutely amazing. That is one of the best ways also to lose weight, because you're switching your nervous system from fight to flight, which is stress, to relax and digest response, where the body accumulates the most nutrients it can possibly accumulate in relax and digest. So we are not in a rush. Our table sometimes 3-4 hours. I have time to chew, to breathe, to talk. I absolutely will have 20-30 minutes. So nowhere to rush. Well, one fun statistic, we normally chew 3 times, but the studies show we have to chew 33 times. The number 1 step of digestion is in our mouth, to break down the food with saliva. 33 chews. Okay. And when we go close to the end, how do we stop eating? Sometimes that's where we get stuck, isn't it? Even throughout our daily, how do I stop eating? So the question you can ask yourself, am I still enjoying it? You can even say, does my body still enjoy it? Or look at the timer that you said before. Here's a wonderful, always works trick. You can also ask yourself, on the scale, it is a fullness scale, the same scale can be done for hunger. On the scale from 1 to 10, where 1, I'm still really hungry, and 10, I'm so stuffed, I'm gonna unzip my pants and I can't because I'm in public. How full am I? If you answer, and it's incredible, every time I ask this question, my intention goes where? Into my tummy. How is my tummy feeling? If it's between 7 and 8, it's time to stop. How do I stop? But wait, we still have some desserts. Shall we talk about desserts or shall we talk about stopping? Let me see my next slide. Let's do the desserts a little bit. Maybe I'm at 6 yet. Here you go. The trick is to eat desserts before you hit 7 to 8. So if a time for desserts, I usually pick really small plate. And as I mentioned on our table, there will be 10 plus different options. I'm going to the same thing. I'm going to stand at the table. I'm going to put a plan of what is on the table. What do I say no to? What do I really want to try? And the things that I really want to try, I'm going to take sample bites. In fact, sometimes I get laughed at, wow, 10 pieces. But those 10 pieces are tiny pieces. And sometimes I don't even eat all those tiny pieces. But just to have maybe 1 or 2 bites, freedom bites of each dessert and savor, paint that flavor in my mouth is just absolutely beautiful. And hey, we can play a game to be the last person on the table finishing the food. How do I do that? Savor your bites. Take time. Enjoy. Sometimes I ask myself questions. So what's in my taste right now? What do I flavor in my mouth? Okay. On the scale from 1 to 10, how stuffed I am, or how full am I? Between 7 and 8. Time to stop. How do I do that? Absolutely works every time. Put the fork on the table. Put a napkin on top of the plate and say out loud, I'm done. Move away from the table. And yeah, if you want to eat more after that, that will be really awkward. Here's what we do after that. Let's help maybe clean some dishes. In fact, I'm known for picking up dirty plates from people finishing the food. It's not because I want to. Yeah, I'm also maybe a clean freak, but I want to get up. I want to get moving. I want a little bit of that motion going back into my body. So let's help clean up. Let's go back and socialize. In fact, take a glass of water, socialize away from the table. If there's a crowd away from the table, why not? Okay. And if you still got into the food coma, let's not store those calories. Don't you love that picture? Let's go and burn those extra calories. You remember, extra calories in, extra calories out. Let's go for a walk. Those 15-minute brisk walk to stabilize blood sugar levels, to ease the digestion is crucially important. Okay, how's it so far resonating with you? What are you going to take as a step? Maybe something that you never thought of might seem like, wow, of course. the cat needs a treadmill. Okay, that might be an interesting video to take and post. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. All right, so 3x3 step system to sail through holidays and beyond is to know your why, pick up on physical activity, and mentally rehearse before, during, after. And I want to invite you to really be patient with yourself. In fact, the mental rehearsal by itself, it's almost like any other habit. It takes time to build that muscle. So I chose this diagram so you can actually see the process, what's happening in our brain development, if I may say, when we build a new habit. If you're working one-on-one with a coach, it might take about 3 to 6 months. The first 3 months, you're really working on your behaviors, your actions. And then you start tapping into beliefs, what keeps you stuck. What patterns have you been running all your life? And close to between 4 and 6 months, you start noticing your new habits have taken root. You're looking forward to doing certain things, eating certain things that you never knew you would enjoy, because it's becoming who you are, your new identity. If you're working in a group, it's actually double time, from 6 to 12 months. Maybe you heard the expression, hey, it didn't take you 1 day to build a habit. It's not going to take you 1 day to break a habit and build a new one. It takes time, so let's be patient with each other. So in fact, Denise, I chose to put her in the slides here. She wanted to give herself a 50th birthday to lose 100 pounds. We worked for over a year together. She started, see misspelled here, apologies, with mindful eating and radical self-acceptance. And then she moved to fitness for weight loss. Guess what she said? I would not have made it through COVID if I had not regained my health and fitness. She unfortunately lost 3 family members to COVID. Yeah. Thank you. Maybe you've seen her in person as well. So, if anything else, I want to really leave you today with the hope that it is possible to be consistent with those healthy habits daily that you already know that you need to be doing. It just take this 1% little adjustment at the time. But when you're patient and consistent with yourself, you naturally start prioritizing your daily wellness care. You feel light and energized. Well, and also you have fun being with me because that's what we do together. You feel in control. In fact, your food choices, your day, your calendar, you know how to relax on demand. We did this today. You have your nutritional protocol. You know what your body needs. You tapped into mindful eating, first of all. As a result, you feel less pain and aches and inflammation. And you know that those little changes actually create the long-lasting, sustainable results. And you don't have to do it alone. In fact, you can, but is it fun? Can we sustain to do it alone? We're human beings of communication, so let's do it together and support each other. We have a great support accountability system. Whether you're in our ultimate transformation, in the fitness, we support each other. So, and again, if you find yourself that this is really great, but what is individually I need to focus on? If you want to reflect, reevaluate, step up, or just get unstuck, please feel free to use this deep dive session. 3 days, complimentary. You can schedule it for any time, November, December. Just put it on the calendar by Monday midnight, because then the coupon is going to expire. Okay, so with that said, I want to leave you with words of hope and inspiration. So even though those holidays are coming and sometimes our life is getting busy and sometimes life may get dark, but when we'll turn the light bulb on and dial into a daily wellness care, non-negotiably, we can have a healthy, sustainable, long life transformation for our health and life. So with that said, thank you so much for listening, joining. If you have any more questions, any more comments, go ahead and leave them in the chat. And thank you for the comments on the stories. And with that said, I'm going to stop recording and I look forward to your comments in the chat.